G'day reefers, I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Welcome to Gallery Aquatica TV. Today is part 3 of gluing corals into the SPS Mothership. We've been selecting corals for this awesome 7,000 litre reef tank behind me, and today we've got the final group of 5. We're going to pick them out, we're going to tell you why we've chosen them, and we're going to show you exactly how we glue them into the SPS Mothership. The SPS Mothership is effectively somewhere we're going to be able to keep a lot of the colonies of corals that are very important to us personally and as a business. We want to have corals in the SPS Mothership that grow into large colonies that we can frag from in the future, that will also look beautiful in this massive reef tank. And so the corals we choose are particularly important. We're going to be gluing them onto our structure with the other 10 corals we've already glued in place. And so we need to think about where they're going to be positioned on our aquascape and what sort of requirements they need. Now we've got a huge amount of corals to choose from. We've got hundreds and hundreds of frags in these 2 ponds, and today we're going to choose out the next lot of 5, or the final lot of 5 for the SPS Mothership. And the first one we're going to glue in today is right here. Okay, so it's an Aquapora, and this colour morph is green goblin. It's an awesome coral. It's a really sort of fine and spindly type of SPS coral. It's particularly easy to frag, and in a little bit the same as the Montipora digitata that we glued in on the last episode. It's one that I've never really had a large colony of, and so I'm hoping by putting it in the SPS Mothership we'll be able to give it the stability and the requirements that it needs to really grow into a large colony that will look awesome, but also allow us to have a big colony from which we can frag as required. So this is the first coral today for the SPS Mothership. So you can see these 2 over here, they're strawberry shortcakes, and we've got another one here that we're going to glue in today. And the reason why I'm choosing this one is because, and it's really hard to see, but half of it is actually dead, and this second half is still alive and doing really well. And I would much prefer to glue in this piece because it's not a saleable piece of strawberry shortcake, but strawberry shortcake is a really popular, probably the most popular strain of aqua that we sell. And I have kind of stayed away from strains of Aquapora. We'll probably put them in the future, but this will be probably the only named aqua apart from the Dallas that we're going to be putting in today. But I'm going to start with trying, oh there you go, to take off this dead part, and I might just get a pair of coral cutters. There you go, totally stuffed it. So that part is still attached. All right, so now we have our 2 pieces of strawberry shortcake. Really hard to see with this light, but they're going to look awesome, and they definitely want to be up high in the tank. They're one of the most beautiful acros, but we'll see how they go in the SPS Mothership. All right, this is the next coral for the SPS Mothership. Now I probably made a mistake in touching it because it's withdrawn its polyps. It's Stylophora, and it's a really cool coral that we just don't see very much anymore. It was a really common coral years ago, but we just rarely see it. And having a colony of it will make me feel happy, just to ensure that we don't lose this coral. It's not a particularly easy one to frag once it's a full colony because it grows quite tight protrusions, and it's really sort of a dense skeleton. But it looks awesome, and I definitely want it in the SPS Mothership. So the last 2 corals we're going to glue into the SPS Mothership are both types of bird's nest. They're Ceratopora, and bird's nests are a really easy thing to frag. They're really, they look great in your tank because they give different textures, and really there's nothing else like a nice bird's nest, and they do get particularly bright colours when they're happy and settled. They are the first coral to die if you have a temperature spike. We're probably a little bit lucky that we didn't lose these in the recent temperature spike we had. But there's something that I do particularly like to have in most of the tanks that we set up. And the two different types of bird's nest I think are really going to complement well, and they're going to be easy to find spots for on the structure that aren't going to shade anything or really take up too much space. All right, so I'll put these in our tub. So there you go. We've got our final lot of 5 corals for the SPS Mothership. Now, as we always do, we're going to show you exactly how you glue these into a tank when you actually have to get in the tank to do the job, which means it's time for me to get changed. Here I am in the SPS Mothership, and isn't it great? I've been doing a little bit of tidying up. I've just moved a few things off the bottom of the tank, and I think we're ready to glue in our final batch of 5 corals into the SPS Mothership. So as you've seen in previous episodes, we've already glued in 10 corals, and so our next 5 are waiting for us just here. And I'm actually going to start with this big bird's nest. And as I was dipping it just before, I saw that we've got a fair bit of dead sections in this colony, and I really don't want to glue that into the system. So I'm going to do a little bit of, let's call it pruning. I'm going to frag off a few of the pieces of this and glue them in place, rather than putting all this dead coral into the tank. So here we go, see how it goes, me doing some fragging in the SPS Mothership. This is really all we need, and actually here's an advantage. Having a piece which is this shape is going to allow me to glue it into a vertical surface and have this colony, what will become a new colony, grow out in this direction. So I think this is a better option rather than gluing in that large dead section. And I think I can see the perfect spot for it. Yep, all right, this is excellent. So it fits in well. It's going to allow growth in a sideways sort of direction, and I don't think it's going to clash with anything that we're going to want to put there in the future. So we'll just get our glue. The trick here is going to be getting it in that same spot quickly before the glue starts to cure. All right, here we go. Okay, I think that is going to be absolutely perfect. I'm very happy with that piece. I think that was definitely the way to do it. It would have been a mistake to glue that whole colony in. Let's look at our next piece. So we've got the strawberry shortcake, and I think I'll glue in both pieces. It really needs the best light to show its colour. So I want these points facing up towards the light. So I think I'll probably glue them on this top peak, maybe facing backwards, I think would be the go. We'll do one at a time. So big dollop. I think I'll just use the one piece. Seems a bit of a shame to not use a second piece, but I might give that to Anya to make some little frags out of. All right, the next piece, what have we got? I'll glue this bird's nest on. I'm really keen to see this in place. It's probably not one that we need so much for future for fragging, but I think it's going to look really good. You can see this was originally a little frag that we've grown out. You can see its stem on the plug just there. So I'll cut that off. That just hit the cameraman in the face. Oh, okay, all right, so let's glue this in place. I know exactly where it's going to go to. Right there. So I've been pretty lucky with all these corals I've been gluing in place, that pretty much all of them have been able to balance in position in a way that I don't need to really hold onto them for too long. However, this one is going to need just a bit of support. I'm just going to have to hold it here for a sec and wait for this glue to cure. I have specifically put this a little bit lower than some of the other corals. I wanted to show really nice pink, so getting its lighting right is definitely going to be important, but I also don't want to bleach it out with too much light, which is a risk. Okay. Alright, well I think it looks pretty good there. Let's find the next coral. So, this Stylophora has put in all its polyps, and at the moment it's looking purple, and it's making me wonder if I've got the right coral, but definitely is. Watch out, cameraman. And I'm just going to stick this on the side of our bommy somewhere. I'm not too worried where it goes. I reckon just like that. Okay. So one more coral. An Aquatica. Okay. Again, I'm going to get rid of the... Watch out. Alright. And I know where it's going to go. I'm going to put it down next to the red digitata. Just like that. Such an easy coral to knock and break. I don't want it to be in a position where I might in the future swim past it and knock it off. So being towards the middle of this structure will be good. But I did have to put a fairly large amount of glue on it so that it holds there. But I think it looks good. I think that's yeah, looking excellent actually. So there you have it. We have glued our final lot of 5 corals into the SPS Mothership. I really hope you've enjoyed this 3-part series. I think the bommy is looking great, and we'll bring you back here in the future to show you how the corals go in their different positions. We'll also bring you back here to look at the other bommies and gluing corals into there, as well as all the other things that we're doing to make this the best 7,000 litre reef tank we possibly can. But that's it for today's episode of Gallery Aquatica TV. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate your support. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing! That's it for this week's episode of Gallery Aquatica TV. Don't forget to like and comment on all our videos and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned to Gallery Aquatica TV for more exciting episodes to come. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing!